to another episode of Notta Garage. Today we're going to be finishing up the fuel system on the car, getting all the AN fittings and everything fixed up, get the regulator hooked up, get the return and feed on the pump hooked up. Have to cut and make our own little return, so that's the plan for today. Alright, so right now we are going to be mounting the new fuel filter. I'll put it up here on this upturn. That way there's no way it's going to smack into anything. I don't know if I can get the camera set up in a way here to film upside down, so I'll just video the finished product. Just took the downpipe back off. We just had it on for some fitment checking. Slap it back up. The bolts back in. And trim nut for the fuel filter. And make sure our we're lined up for the other side. We got our rib nut tool. Alright, so we got a bitch ass J. What your engine sees when Jay's working on it. Alright, so the fuel filter is mounted. Wow, yeah, it's tight. It's a pain in the ass putting it right there. But we don't want to have any clearance issues. If I want to go lower or whatever, putting it anywhere else other than here, you run the risk of hitting a bump, hitting it. You definitely don't want to start leaking fuel. Run the risk of blowing something up or catching it on fire. Never a good thing. So, safety first. You can shortcut yourself, but the only thing you're doing is playing yourself in the end. So, don't be a fool. Stay in school. Alright, so fuel filter mounted and hose made. It's just gonna be routing stuff now, honestly. Alright, so next thing we gotta do is take the fuel basket out again, because we have to make the hole for the return. Time to make a mess again. My car doesn't have a battery in it right now, but always make sure you disconnect your battery when you're doing shit like this, because that could bite you in the ass really bad. Alright, so we got our 6 AN barb fitting. This is going to be what's going to eliminate. We're swapping everything on the car to AN fittings, which, as was put by a good friend of mine, that's a really good way to spend $1,000 in just fittings. So I told a guy at work that, and he goes, "That's a great way to spend $1,000 on fittings." I was like, "Yep, pretty much." So we got just
about 1,000.
I'd say probably up to about 600.
That's not bad for AN, bro.
No.
You go full AN, that's not bad.
So we got it's threaded body, just with a nipple on the other side. 2 PTFE like fuel rated washers. Ugh. Take these off. And then the next thing we gotta do is, it looks like this OEM return just kind of pops out. So we already drained the fuel out. I'll pop this return line off. Turn it back now. Well, hey there, brother. That looks pretty good there to me. Came right on up out of there. Bro, what are the odds that this fits like right in there?
Nice.
Like a glove. But I'm gonna have to cut these little tabs off so I can get my nut on there. And then this can go. Ooh. It was meant to be, brother. Alright, so we got the OEM return utilized. AN fitting installed. It already has the AM 340 installed. So I'm gonna go slap this bitch back in. Let's go on an adventure. Look at Jay's bitch ass. Working hard. You motherfucker. Gotta get that social media. Bada bing, bada boom. Everything's back in, tightened down. Pick up the tools. Pick up a bit of the gas and spill. Put our ends on these hoses. Get them hooked up. So this is gonna be for the feed. Is an 8AN quick connect fitting. Slap that on. Now we can get it hooked up. Then we can close the fuel door because it'll be done. Alright, so we're going to be making the PTFE lines for ethanol, methanol, blah blah blah, whatever. The fueling system for whatever kind of fuel I want to run. Be careful because those strands of braided line will stab. I have a big cut on my back from the bitches. Get this part on first. God damn, boy! And then you need this. So that's the 8AN one. 6AN. This is for the ferrules so that it doesn't collapse the hose. So you're going to put that right on there. Then you're going to jam this bitch in there. So you see that the line is up to the collar. And we can take our masking tape off. You need 2 wrenches for this part. One to hold this piece. Let me make sure. To hold that part, and these fittings do bottom out, so if you're asking yourself how tight, until it stops. And there we go. That's one done. Top of the fuel basket. And fittings installed, quick connect installed, everything's hooked back up. Go in here, show you what it looks like. So got the filter, and then we're reusing all the factory bands to hold up the lines. Looks pretty dang good. Next thing is going to be getting the line with the fitting on there to come up to the side of the fuel rail so that we have feed, and then we'll go from the feed back to the regulator and then the return. And she done as far as fueling. So we're going to pressure wash the engine bay to get it ready for the motor install.
always flush out heater cords whenever you take out engines, and it's always a good thing. It always unclogs them in case they are. Never a bad thing.
You heard it from the mouth of the God yourself, folks. What's a goon to a goblin?
You want to bring this in?
What? The IS? Or the BMW?
The IS needs to get fucking pressure washed.
So I want to say thank you for watching today's episode. We're getting close. Motor is right here. We're going to get everything balanced out, put back together. Head should be back this week. We're putting that in, putting that on, then we can put the head, the manifold and the turbo back on the head. Put the motor in, then we'll just be waiting on some goodies from Mishimoto. And we're rocking and rolling for 2K. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.